Hello everyone, I'm here at Stanmore station. The northern terminus of the Jubilee Line is where we start our driver's eye view all the way to Stratford. This is something I've been really looking forward to in ages. I'm finally given the opportunity now to show you the history of the Jubilee Line as a driver's perspective, as well as my perspective as a train spotter, and why the Jubilee Line is my favourite tube line in the underground network. So sit back and enjoy the video. The Jubilee Line is a 23-mile-long tube line that starts from Stanmore in the northwestern suburbs of London in Harrow and runs to Stratford in the east of London in Newham. Opened in 1979, it stands as the Underground's newest line, with some track sections dating back to 1932 and some stations to 1879. Commencing at Stanmore, the former terminus of the Bakerloo Line, the Jubilee Line runs through the rural areas of northwest London. As the line heads towards Wembley Park, for much of its length, it runs alongside the tracks of the Metropolitan Line. After Finchley Road, the Jubilee Line goes underground towards the West End of London via Baker Street. After Baker Street, the line continues towards Green Park, from where the Jubilee Line extension begins via Waterloo, London Bridge, Canary Wharf and North Greenwich, before ending the tunnel section at Canning Town to finish its remainder of the line at the eastern terminus, Stratford. Stanmore. Located in the London Borough of Harrow, it is the northern terminus of the Jubilee Line. The station opened in December 1932 as part of the Stanmore branch of the Metropolitan Railway, which we now know as the Metropolitan Line. 7 years later, in 1939, the branch was transferred onto the Bakerloo Line, serving it for 40 years before being transferred again to the Jubilee Line in 1979. As of today, Stanmore serves as the terminus of the Jubilee Line. The station building was designed by the architect C.W. Clark, who also designed 25 Metropolitan Railway stations between 1911 and 1933. Stanmore doesn't have the above ground design for ticket halls. The station's ticket hall and office are located downstairs at platform level rather than at street entrance level. Initially, Stanmore had 2 platforms. However, In 2011, a third platform was opened to the public. The addition of Platform 3 was necessary to accommodate the increased number of trains per hour on the Jubilee. On the left-hand side of the station are Stanmore sidings, where 10 Jubilee Line trains are stabled overnight for the next day. Arriving at Stanmore is the 1996 dock, which is currently used on the Jubilee Line. The 1996 dock is similar to its sister dock, the 1995 dock on the Northern Line, which both trains were manufactured in the 90s by the same company formerly known as GEC Alstom Metro Camel, now called Alstom. These two stocks have similar body designs and layouts, with the primary difference between them being their traction motors. The 1996 dock was specifically built for the Jubilee Line extension and to replace the short-lived 1983 stock. After 20 years in service, the 1996 dock trains underwent their first major refurbishment. Changes including black and white flooring in the seating areas and doorways, silver painted poles to match the colour of the Jubilee Line, and repainted the original turquoise panels on the trains to white. The exterior passenger door open buttons were plated over, however, the interior buttons still remain. Wheelchair spaces with backboards were introduced in some carriages, and in 2019 priority seat covers were added to encourage passengers to yield these seats to those in need. The first refurbished train entered in service in February 2017. And by the end of 2019, all 63 train sets of the 1996 stocks were refurbished. From Stanmore to Wembley Park, the branch runs through the rural areas, and the opening of the branch contributed to the development of the residential areas along this route. This often led to increased accessibility and connectivity, making these areas more appealing for residential development. The availability of reliable transportation tends to enhance property values and can stimulate economic and residential growth in the surrounding areas. Stanmore also had another station called Stanmore Village, which was opened in December 1890 by the London and Northwestern Railway, with a short branch line terminating at Harrow and Wealdstone. However, the branch line was closed in October 1964, leading to the closure of Stanmore Village Station. Our first stop is Canons Park, which opened in December 1932 as part of the Metropolitan Railway. Prior to its opening, the station was originally called Canons Park Edgware, but the following year the suffix was dropped. So I've just left Canons Park station. I'm actually inside Canons Park, and it's a really nice park because it brings back so many memories of when I was a teenager, and me and my friend used to come to this park quite a lot to do train spotting, because there is a footbridge at the park where we can actually see the trains from the footbridge. So I'm at the footbridge at Canons Park, and this is where we actually do some train spotting, standing here. And some drivers, they even give us a wave, give us a whistle, and it really made us enjoy our hobby, because it shows that there are people out there who appreciate our hobby and not judge us. Like, look at the lovely views towards Stanmore, then look at the lovely views of Canons Park station. And look at the trains passing by. Such an amazing view. In the past, Canons Park served as a terminus for some Jubilee Line trains after the rush hour. Subsequently, these trains will proceed empty to Stanmore sidings for stabling. However, in present times, it's become a rare destination. A mile away from Canons Park is Edgware Station, one of the northern terminus of the Northern Line. Passengers prefer travelling to central London from there because the tube charges them half the price, which is cheaper than the Metropolitan Railway, which charges passengers on a mainline basis. Arriving at our next stop, Queensbury, which opened on December the 16th, 1934, 2 years after the surrounding stations on the Stanmore branch. The station was built in the Greenfield area, and the name Queensbury was created by comparing it to Kingsbury, which is one stop before Queensbury. Houses and rows of shops were built beside the station to form a large crescent with a public space in the centre, with Queensbury Circus featuring a charming 1930s roundel in the middle of the roundabout. Queensbury was developed in the 1930s, and the architecture of the station reflects this era. As we are continuing to our destination towards Stratford, what I love about the Jubilee Line, especially the former Stanmore branch of the Bakerloo and Metropolitan lines, is that the branch from Stanmore to Wembley Park is quite suburban, and you can enjoy the views as well. This station is Kingsbury, which the station is below street level. Pass alongside the French Country Park on our left, one of the largest parks of northwest London, located in the London Borough of Brent. The park features woodlands, meadows and ponds, and it is designated as a nature reserve, providing a habitat for various wildlife species. Pass underneath the fast and slow tracks of the southbound Metropolitan Line via the dialector, a structure that dates back to the early days of the Bakerloo Line. As we begin travelling parallel with the Metropolitan Line, the formation changes from 2 to 8 tracks. The 2 inner tracks are used for the Jubilee Line, while the 4 outer tracks belong to the fast and slow Metropolitan Lines. And on the far right hand side are the tracks of the Aylesbury Line, where Chiltern Railway trains run towards Aylesbury. Passing on our right hand side is a reverse siding, where Jubilee Line trains turn back and head southbound towards central London. Wembley Park is also a regular alternative northbound terminus of the line. Arriving at Wembley Park, the station was first opened in October 1893 to accommodate the football matches held in the area on Saturdays. However, it was not until May 1894 that the station became fully operational. The Metropolitan Railway previously laid tracks through the area while extending its services from Willesden Green to Harrow on the Hill, with services to Harrow commencing in August 1880. The construction of Wembley Park Station took place at a later date. Moving into the 2000s, Wembley Park Station underwent a comprehensive renovation, expanding the ticket hall, constructing a broader and longer staircase to Olympic Way, to accommodate event crowds at Wembley Stadium and Wembley Arena, and adding lifts for step-free access. The Wembley Park area has experienced substantial regeneration, marked by the construction of new apartments, the opening of key facilities like the Brent Civic Centre, and the establishment of the London Designer Outlet in 2013. These changes improved the station and regenerated the Wembley Park area, making it more vibrant and accessible. The station features 6 platforms. The 2 outer platforms are for the fast Metropolitan Line services. Platforms 2 and 5 are for the stopping Metropolitan Line services heading north or south and making stops at Preston Road and Wembley Park. Platforms 3 and 4 are for the Jubilee Line services, making local stops between Wembley Park and Finchley Road. The Metropolitan Line offers an express service to Finchley Road, skipping the Jubilee Line stations. So I'm at Wembley Park on platform 3 on the Jubilee Line, next to the slow Metropolitan Line platform 2. And this station I have a bit of love for, because when you do train spotting, you can actually see the views towards Stanmore or Harrow, whether on the Jubilee Line or Metropolitan Line. And also, like Finchley Road, I like how both the Jubilee Line and the Metropolitan Line arrive at the same time. Also, when I do train spotting, I also speak to the drivers as well, talking about the history of the line, talking about the history of the rolling stocks, and it does build that friendly connection. Well, that's the end of episode 1 of the Jubilee Line Driver's Eye View. Episode 2 from Wembley Park to Finchley Road will be released next Thursday at 5:30 PM on YouTube. Thank you everyone for watching, and see you in the next episode, and please like, share and subscribe.